The only thing constant about Instagram is that it's always changing, and 2023 will be no different. While we saw the rise of many new trends, strategies, and content types in 2022, not all of them will be coming with us into the new year. In this video, I wanted to share some of the trends that I predict will be huge in the new year on Instagram, and especially highlight some visual and design trends that'll be the perfect inspiration to give your brand a refresh for the new year. By the way, this video is sponsored by 99 Designs by Vista, and I'll talk more about them later. Before we fully dive into the trends and strategies that are going to help you grow on Instagram in 2023, I wanted to clear the air around some of the biggest trends, aesthetics, and strategies that we saw on Instagram over the past year, and settle once and for all what's in and what's out. Doing this seriously makes me feel like Miranda Priestley herself.
I have no style or sense of fashion. Well, wasn't a question.
So let's do this. Using those built-in swipe across filters on your Instagram story, definitely out. Using the creator-generated live AR filters on your Instagram story, I would say in, but use sparingly. In general, going into 2023, I think we're gonna continue to see Instagram stories become even more casual, organic, and very natural feeling. Not a lot of filters, not a lot of fluff. Just images, text, and talking to your audience. Using engagement groups to hack the algorithm, definitely out. In 2023, it is all about organic, real, genuine engagement, people. Stop trying to put all your energy into hacking the algorithm. Instead, focus on creating genuinely good content that your audience is going to connect with. If you create an engagement group or an engagement pond with other people in your industry or in your niche, you're just gonna end up sending the wrong messages to the algorithm about who your ideal audience is. Instead, spend that time connecting with your actual followers and making good content for them. Using this font on your Instagram story, out. But using this font on your Instagram story, most definitely in, and Gen Z approved. Okay, the font that you use on your Instagram story doesn't really matter, but in general, I will say the aesthetic is shifting towards something a little bit more minimal and definitely not the Comic Sans vibe. Posting long-winded talking videos on your Instagram story, especially when they don't have captions, out. Posting short, concise, and visually appealing videos on your Instagram story, in. Instagram stories is probably the shortest form type of content. People want it to be even shorter than Reels or TikToks. If you post like 2 minutes of you talking to your story, most people are gonna skip right past. And Reels, most definitely 100% in. Maybe none of these came as a surprise to you, or maybe you're a little bit shocked by this trend report that I've just delivered. Either way, let me know in the comments. I'd be really curious to know if you're feeling more like Anne Hathaway or Stanley Tucci right now. We're gonna talk more about some of the visual trends that you might wanna lean into in the new year in just a minute, but first I wanted to go over 3 of the key growth strategies that you're gonna wanna know if you wanna succeed on Instagram in the new year. I know there can be a lot of noise in the social media strategy space, and things are always changing. So I wanted to keep things simple today and just provide you with the most straightforward and minimalist Instagram strategy advice that is actually gonna make an impact for you in 2023. Because ultimately, just utilizing these trends that I'm sharing with you alone is not gonna be enough to grow an engaged audience. So I wanna provide you with a foundation of strategy suggestions to get you started off right. And then we can dive into the fun, aesthetic, visual components that you might want to integrate to help you get a little bit more of a boost in terms of like the reach of your content. So the first thing that you're really gonna wanna do is get really clear on your purpose instead of trying to pick a niche. I think the way that we've talked about picking a niche on Instagram in the past is kind of outdated when it comes to growth strategies for 2023. The gap between succeeding on Instagram and being disappointed in your growth is not gonna be bridged by just having a hyper-specific niche or a great elevator pitch in your bio. What you need as a creator is a really, really clear sense of purpose. Part of this is determining if you are aiming to be more of an influencer or more of a business owner. I know this distinction isn't always clear and there's a lot of gray area in these type of categories, but let me explain. Basically, you need to answer for yourself whether creating content is the means to an end or an end in itself. In the more traditional business owner sense, creating content is the means to an end. You create content to market your business, to sell your services, your product, whatever it might be. And in the more influencer slash content creator sense, creating content is the end itself. You primarily make your money off of, brand sponsorships, ad sets, affiliate marketing, that kind of thing. So first of all, you want to know, are you taking the online business owner route or more of the content creator / influencer route? And that's just going to change how you approach creating content. Then you know whether you are creating content to kind of express yourself creatively, to push the bounds on what you've made in the past, to build a community and like a relationship with your viewer, or if you're making content more so to solve problems, answer questions, and direct people to your paid offers. Ideally, as a creator, your content is going to exist at the intersection of 3 main points: what your audience is looking for, what you love to create, and what you actually have time to create. That is the basis for a sustainable strategy, an Instagram strategy that you can actually stick to for the long term, which is what you're going to need to do if you want to see real growth. And if you want help creating this sustainable Instagram strategy, I actually created a free Notion template that walks you through all of the stuff that I just talked about and kind of guides you through building out your own strategy. So that might be something to check out if you aren't really sure when and what to post this coming year. That Notion template is going to help you figure that out. Okay, so the second piece to my minimal but effective Instagram strategy formula is creating a content calendar. Once you have your purpose and your kind of ultimate why figured out, like we discussed in the next step, you need to create a consistent content calendar based on that purpose and then actually execute on it. This is a big struggle that a lot of creators have. You create a content calendar that you're super happy with, but then you don't actually make the content. Now here's the thing, no matter what all the other Instagram strategy videos say, there is no one correct way to grow on Instagram. There's no one perfect strategy. It's gonna completely depend on your situation, the audience that you're trying to connect with, and what you wanna share. There's lots of different types of content that you can post on Instagram, and they all have their advantages and disadvantages depending on your specific circumstances. So let's talk about an example. Graphic carousels have become a really popular kind of standard form of Instagram content in the last few years. And they can be really effective for helping you grow, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's the perfect strategy for every creator. I think that graphic carousels are the best type of content for more of the online business owner type category that I described before. If your primary goal is to provide education, solve problems, answer questions, and ultimately direct traffic from your Instagram over to whatever paid offer you have going on, then graphic carousels are going to be a perfect type of content for you. But for creators who are taking more of that like influencer route, where the primary goal is to connect with your audience, build that relationship, and then partner with brands in order to monetize your audience, then graphic carousels might not be the best because they don't necessarily lean into that relationship building side of Instagram. It's more of a transaction of knowledge with your audience. You're providing that value and you're building that kind of trust and expertise and authority, but you aren't necessarily building up that friendship. And that's why for influencer or content creator types, it's probably more effective to focus on photos of you, like photo dumps for carousels, and also reels that feature you. So you can see how there are so many different types of content on Instagram, and some of them work really, really well for growth for certain types of people in certain circumstances. So that's why it's so important that you figure out what your purpose and what your why is before you dive into planning content specifics, or else you might end up creating really awesome content, but it's just not effective for what your goals and your purpose are. So that's why I really recommend using my sustainable Instagram strategy planner to figure out what you actually have time for, what your purpose is, what's going to connect with your audience, and then figure out how often you're going to post and plan that all out on a content calendar and plan it into your week to actually go ahead and create that content. Okay, I'm just going to be straight up with you with this last strategy suggestion, and that is to focus on video. Okay, before you freak out, this does not mean that you should never post photos again or that Instagram has fully turned into TikTok, because that is just not the case. But the honest truth is, video is just a genuinely engaging type of content. And to ignore it because you're kind of scared of trying something new is to really put yourself at a disadvantage when it comes to Instagram growth in 2023. I really believe that focusing on video as a part of your Instagram strategy and really putting Reels at the forefront does not have to be intimidating or scary. Instagram Reels, especially lately, I find have trended towards more low effort, ultra short form types of content. Think like montages, single clip reels, one clip with just like text over top. That's the kind of thing that I'm seeing all over my Reels feed. You can incorporate video into your strategy. If you've already been posting photos on Instagram, when you go to take a photo on your phone, literally just pause for 10 or 15 more seconds and make that photo a video. And if you could add a little bit of camera movement or maybe some kind of like lighting changes or movement within the scene, then you've got yourself a reel that is pretty much ready to post if you just add a trending audio and add some kind of relevant text over top. Obviously, there is always room to get more creative than this and provide more value, but you can at least dip your toe in and get started with these really low effort, beginner friendly types of reels. Instagram is an inherently visual platform. So as a creator who wants to succeed on Instagram, it's important to keep track of the changing design and aesthetic trends. That way you know what types of visuals are currently the most effective at grabbing and holding the attention of your audience. That's why I'm excited to be partnering with 99 Designs to share with you some of the biggest design trends going into 2023. This is something that 99 Designs shares on their blog every single year, so it's kind of fun to see what the changing trends are from year to year, but it's a super great spot for creators or online business owners to get some inspiration for refreshing your brand or refreshing the visual vibe of your content on Instagram. This year, I actually decided to use 99 Designs to get a new logo redesign for my podcast called the Creator Club Podcast. So if you're not familiar, 99 Designs is a platform where you can either hire a specific designer or you can host a design contest where various designers create options that you can choose from so you can find the perfect design for your logo, your Instagram content, your website, whatever it might be. So I ran a design contest to get a new version of my Creator Club logo, and I was looking for something to be inspired by one of these new design trends that 99 Designs has identified for 2023. So make sure you stay tuned to a little bit later in the video because then I'm going to reveal what the new version of this logo looks like now. Now, if you want to do the same, if you're looking for a redesign of your logo or maybe your content templates, I'm actually going to be giving away a $500 credit for you to use on 99 Designs so that you can hire a designer yourself or run your own design contest. So thank you to 99 Designs for generously giving away a $500 credit with me. If you want to enter the contest, head over to this post on my Instagram feed. I'll also link it in the description. All you have to do is follow me on Instagram, follow 99 Designs on Instagram, like this post and comment on this post, and you'll be entered to win a $500 credit to use on 99 Designs. Okay, but it actually gets better. Not only will you get a $500 credit to get a brand refresh of your own, but I'm also gonna be sending some merch with my new Creator Club logo to the winner. So make sure you go enter over on Instagram. Okay, so with that being said, let's round up my 3 favorite design trends of the new year. If you want to see the whole list that 99 Designs published, then you can check out that link in my description. The first design trend is Risoprint reimagined. According to 99 Designs, risograph was a mid-80s printing technique developed by the Riso Kagaku Corporation in Japan. It paved the way for cheap bulk printing by using dots and desaturated colors, with the result that images were often grainy and unintentionally stylized with double exposures. I love this style for its nostalgic and warm feel. It feels handmade and personal, even though obviously it's done digitally now. I think this is a fun way to integrate modern color palettes with more retro feeling design styles. Here's an example of what my Creator Club logo looks designed as Risoprint reimagined. This was created by Manuel Machado on 99 Designs. Retro line art is my next favorite trend for 2023. This is a minimalist design style that also feels really funky and fun. It pairs perfectly with bright colors, bubble fonts, and can work really well as a logo if this kind of design fits your vibe. Here's an example of the Creator Club logo imagined as retro line art. This is by Anna Maria Design on 99 Designs. How fun is this? I love the lips look. And my third favorite trend is abstract gradients. I feel like pastel gradients have been getting more and more popular on Instagram over the past couple of years, and I really don't see it going anywhere this year. This can be such a perfect fit, especially for brands on Instagram, because I think it's really eye-catching and also connects well with the sort of like older Gen Z to millennial demographic. And here's an example of the Creator Club logo using a gradient style. It's a little bit more gradient than abstract, but this was created by T. Tanner Design on 99 Designs. So those were all some examples and honorable mentions of some of the favorite entries that I had to my design contest over on 99 Designs. But now, drum roll please, I'm very excited to reveal the new logo for the Creator Club podcast. This was designed by Sorg on 99 Designs, and I'm so pleased with it. I think the little microphone is so cute. So this is the design that is gonna be on the merch that I send your way if you win the contest for $500 credit to use on 99 Designs, plus a tote bag, a mug, some other fun stuff. So make sure you head over to my Instagram to enter. And if you wanna see some more of the design trends to get some inspiration, again, go check out that article posted by 99 Designs on their blog. Well, trends come and go. The most important thing to focus on if you wanna succeed on Instagram is simply connecting with your ideal audience. Whether you know the latest trendy fonts to use on your Instagram story, or if you're taking advantage of the latest design trends, doesn't really matter if you're creating content that provides value and genuinely connects with your followers. Obviously, paying attention to trends and using the latest visuals and aesthetics can help boost an already solid strategy, but it's important that you connect with people and provide value first and foremost. If you want to learn more tactics for telling authentic and engaging stories that connect with your ideal follower, then check out this video because I think that you'll probably find it helpful. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having adventures and following your dreams, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.